trying to figure out what is it that
Yeah.
that these chicks want, man.
I think women love to eat, so food.
This is hilarious. Yo.
Sorry. I think women love to laugh, obviously, like to find funny things. Women like to cry. Like you go out and seek sad movies to cry.
Some women don't even know. But what do women want? Welcome to the NOIRPOISED podcast, where wisdom is power is more than just a motto.
It's our way of life.
There's a movie that I loved back in the day when I was a kid because I thought it was so funny. You remember it?
Yeah.
I didn't, based on the title, obviously, you know what movie I'm talking about. What do women want? It's like a mysterious question that I honestly think to some extent, some women don't even know. But thinking of that movie and the amount of like confusion and the misconceptions that the character went through trying to figure out what is it that these chicks want, man. You know, had me thinking like that would be an interesting episode. I kind of wish we had like a group of women to kind of give different perspectives, because obviously I'm one woman. I am not every woman, no matter what Whitney Houston says. I am one woman and I have my own opinions. So obviously this is not every woman across the board, but I'm going to try to be as flexible with my responses and try to think of different scenarios that may relate to other women that are very different from me.
Yeah.
So everything that I say may not be my exact opinion. I will state when it is, but I just want to give that disclaimer so people don't be like, well, Ruth said that's what women want. No, sis, this is what we gonna know what Ruth wants. But we'll try to, play based on like things that I hear online or things that I hear other people that I know say, so on and so forth. We'll see. But what do women want? What do you think women want? Sam's perspective, what do you think?
I think, let me really think about this.
Don't think of me.
Yeah.
Just like before me, think of like what you thought women wanted.
I think women want, it's going to sound messed up.
Just say it, man.
I think women want to dress up and go out. I think that's actually the fun part. I don't think you guys actually like where you go all the time. It's just the process of dressing up and going out. I think women love to eat, so food.
This is hilarious. Yo.
Sorry. I think women love to laugh, obviously, like to find funny things. Women like to cry. Like you go out and seek sad movies to cry.
Can you give like more answers of substance, like like what are some qualities and traits you think women want?
I think number one thing women want is a leader, someone who never doubts himself, someone who has all the answers. They want to be taken care of. I think
it started to sound like women needed God when you first started.
I mean, hey,
never doubts himself for all the answers. It sounds like God to me. I don't know.
Put everything into one bucket. They want comfort in every situation. Where and we've had this discussion before, where even the idea of going out, sometimes you don't want to be the one that's always suggesting the restaurant or finding the location. It's either a joint effort or the man leads it. And I totally get that. But if I had to summarize everything, I would say women want comfort. It looks differently in different situations, but that's what it is.
Okay, that's good to know.
Oh, the way you're looking at me.
I mean, your answers were hilarious. So yeah. Yeah, I think based on what I hear people say, I'm going to try to think of it from a male's perspective. Like if I was a male and I heard women speaking, I would honestly think women want money, to live like royalty, not to work, but still have purpose, help, a father. If I'm a man, this is what I would think. If I see what I see online as a man, I would think this. I would think that women want leadership for sure. But there's a group of women where you wonder if they actually do want leadership, or they just like the idea of leadership in their minds, but not when it's actually happening, or the things that require of the leadership. I could see why a man would think that based off the information that is pushed, the information that is said online, in the media, movies, so on and so forth. I don't think media portrays us in realistic ways, if I'm completely honest. I do think there are women that do have that type of mindset, but those are usually immature women and women who haven't found themselves
Mm-hmm.
or are just like scorned
Mm-hmm.
in some sense. So I think a woman who has found herself, is comfortable in her femininity, is ready to build with someone, I
Mm-hmm.
would say she definitely does want leadership, because if I'm completely honest, no woman wants to lead.
Can you
Like,
look at the camera and
what?
say that?
No woman wants to lead. Like, while we all, yeah, we want to be CEOs and
Yeah.
boss babes and this, that, and the third, when it comes to your home, you don't want to have to do it. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to have to lead in your home. You want someone that you can go home to and be like, oh, finally, I can take all of this off,
Yeah.
and I can have someone who can kind of like pick up the pieces now.
Yeah.
Like, you want someone who will lead you. Like, I want to be
Yeah.
able to walk down the street and not have a care in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think most women do want that.
Yeah.
I think women also want confidence. I think that's a big deal. Security, for sure. And that's not just financially, while financially is a factor. I'd be lying if I said women didn't want financially, because I think while we want to work and we want to have purpose and have a career, so on and so forth, I do think a lot of women just want the option of not having to do it. But we live in
Yeah.
a time now where women have to do it because
Yeah.
life is so expensive that they can't choose to stay home. So I think
Right.
women want the option of being able to stay home, but it's not necessarily that they want to stay
Right.
home entirely.
Yeah.
So security in finances, but also emotionally. A man who's non-judgmental, and ultimately just a safe space for
Yeah.
herself to be herself and to find herself as she's
Mm-hmm.
evolving. Because I think that's something that as women, well, people in general, we evolve.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking from a woman's point of view, there's just so many roles that you have to play. Like, I think men, you guys have a heavy load. You're just ultimately leading, whether you're
Yeah.
leading as a brother, whether you're leading as a son, whether you're leading as a father or a husband, you guys are leading. And there
Yeah.
are things and roles that require you to kind of like step into certain things.
Yeah.
But with women, I think as life continues, we're forced to step into like a multitude of roles that kind of requires a different aspect of us. So we're
Yeah.
not able to operate the same way we operate in our relationship with our
Yeah.
spouse, the same way we do with our siblings, the same way we do with our children. It looks different.
Yeah.
And then when you step into career, you have to kind of like pick up on masculine type of
Yeah.
characteristics in order to lead in that space. So because we're constantly evolving and also constantly finding new versions of ourselves, I think we just want someone that can be able to like provide that safety. Yeah.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. Why do you think that's even a topic?
What do you
Like,
mean?
what do women want? Like, why is that even a
Oh,
question?
because
If
I
it
think
seems like it's that clear, like, because everything you just said sounds reasonable,
mhm,
but I'm trying to understand from your perspective, why is that even a thing? What women want?
because that's not what's said in the media. That's not what immature women think. Because I'm speaking from my perspective and
Yeah.
the mature women that I come across. But I know there are immature women out there. The
Mm-hmm.
same, like there are women out there. It's kind of like what we said in a previous episode, right? The negative voice is usually
The
louder than the
loudest. Yeah.
positive. So unfortunately, in this situation, it's a similar thing where you have a bunch of savage women who want to operate as men, who want to sleep around and
Yeah.
still be respected, who want to like push men down just because they're making more money, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
those are the type of women that are out there putting false narratives out there. So then you have men hearing that and
Mm-hmm.
thinking that's a general perspective, and it's
Yeah.
not. That's not a general perspective. So unfortunately, because that's what's pushed out there, and because that's what we see in movies, like when they portray women, in my opinion, I feel like on TV it's either we're super strong where it clearly is not real,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the reality for some women, where they have to play a masculine character in order
Yeah.
to stay afloat because they don't have that safety or that
Yeah.
support. You know what I mean? Somewhere where they can let go. And then it's either that, or you have women that are like yeah, I could do what I want with my body. I could sleep with 10 men and you still have to, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like you think it's good not to be judgmental, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a difference in how you are treated according to how you carry yourself,
Yeah.
you know? So we do have a lot of youngins out there who are coming up where I think they're scorned or they're just trying to operate as men, and it's like, bro, you're not. Like
Yeah.
I think it's just women who haven't found themselves. That's why I like to say that instead, so it doesn't come off that like I'm bashing a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
But in my opinion, I just think it's women who haven't yet found who they
Mm-hmm.
are, and so they're operating in these different facades. That narrative is what men are seeing or what people are seeing out there, and
Yeah.
thinking that like, yeah, women, this is what they are.
Yeah.
Women in reality, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if listening to everything that you're saying and just thinking about it, I'm wondering if that's a question to society or to men, because men are more goal oriented while women are more growth oriented.
Hmm.
And if you're goal oriented, if you achieve your target or your objective, you're good. But I think women is more so, I've grown to the next level, and then what's next?
Hmm.
I got to that level, and then what's next? I'm at this level. This what's next. Then what's next? And I think looking at it from a goal oriented, it looks like, what do you want?
Hmm.
Like we've heard even famous people say this before, where I gave my wife wanted a house, I gave her a house,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still not happy. She might have been happy in the beginning, but
Mm-hmm.
she's not happy now. Kind of like, what do you want? You wanted the house, and now you have the house. I think women are more so growth. Like, yes, this is what I wanted, but now I'm looking for more. And I think that
Mm.
comes across to men as, what do you even want? Like, what do women even want? Kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the importance of, if you're with a woman, to understand that she's not going to stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really valid thing to consider in relationships where we're not going to be the same. Like the Ruth
Mm-hmm.
you know now, in 20
Yeah.
years, I'm not going to be her.
Yeah.
There's going to be foundational things about me that remain, but I'm constant. And that's why I said the evolving thing, because I do think we're constantly operating in so many different roles that require different parts of us,
Mm-hmm.
that we are always evolving. I think every 5 to 10 years, we will shift a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's the woman's responsibility to communicate that, but it's also the man's responsibility to pay attention and learn
Mm-hmm.
that. You have to keep dating your significant other.
Yeah.
So if you are expecting to operate the same way you did with the 25-year-old version of the woman that you met versus the 35-year-old version of her, then yeah, you're going to have that mindset and think like, yo, bro, I got you the house. What you want?
Yeah.
But if you were communicating effectively and still actively dating her and learning her and knowing who she is and knowing her mind, then you would know that the house maybe is not even a factor anymore. She's grateful for the
Mm-hmm.
house, but now she wants something different. Maybe she
Yeah.
wants more fulfillment internally.
Yeah.
And I think that's what tends to occur, is that we don't keep learning one another. So then it's difficult to understand what your woman wants.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I feel like you just really have to know her internally, and I think that's what women want.
Mm-hmm.
I really think, at least for me, that's what I want. I just want someone who's always willing to put in the effort
Mm-hmm.
in every avenue. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You may not be making the money that we want at the moment, but it's all about the effort. Even if that effort leads to little to no change in the next 5 to 10 years, but I see the effort being put every year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to celebrate that. You know what I mean? I think it's the same with dating me. You know, if I see you're constantly putting the effort to like see what I'm currently into and learn what I'm learning and ask me questions about what I'm feeling, rather than just thinking, little things that men tend to think like, oh, she's not in the mood today, I'm gonna just whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna
But
wait.
like putting in the effort to kind of like have that conversation, or putting in the effort to see what could potentially get her there.
Yeah.
I think if you're doing that aspect of it, you're gonna know what your woman wants.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a lot of what people think women want, at least what I actually Googled it, I was like, what do men think women want? Because I really don't. I have an idea, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. And some of the things that came up, I'm just going to read it. Financial support, physical appearance, family. Those were the top three that came up that men think women want.
Yeah.
And those are all true. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, who cares about money? Like,
Yeah.
no, I think women generally, yeah, because you want to know that you're secure and your family is going to be secure. So
Right.
the reality is, if we're not secure financially, it then puts in questions in my mind if I want to start a family just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's little things like that that leads you to a space where you're just like, okay, I think I'm comfortable to do
Right.
this. Those three things, I think it's valid. I do think women want physical appearance just like men want physical appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I do think women want family, you know what I mean? But I think the misconceptions is often like, yes, she wants family. That doesn't mean she wants it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, there are women who are really just like trying to be married
Yeah.
because they want that, because they, their age is maybe getting up there. But ain't nothing worse than having a family where you're not prepared for it. So I think most women, if she knows for a fact she's not ready mentally, and her husband and her are not ready financially for a family, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think she's going to crave it as
Yeah.
much. She may desire it, but she's probably going to try to find ways to attain the financial security first, and to get to a space mentally where she wants to be before she then brings in a child. I think a woman who's really growing into who she's supposed to be will feel that way.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not that they're not true. I think society tends to make it seem like, yeah, she wants 6 figures, and and she want the big house and a nice car. A lot of chicks do, and those are nice. I want them too. Like, let's be honest. I love the concept of having money and a big house and a nice car and a, you know what I mean, and a family and physical appearance. A 6-pack wouldn't be too bad. Those are nice, but those are not requirements.
Yeah.
Those are things that are desirable,
Yeah.
that make it a little bit more fun, but they're not make or breaks. And I think that's the difference. Men probably think these are make or breaks. Yeah.
One of the things I've heard men say is, how am I supposed to know what she wants when she don't even know what she wants? What's your response to that?
The same way we try to figure out what y'all want when y'all don't know what y'all want. Because I think, okay, let me explain it, because I can see by your face that you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna use us as an example because that's the experience that I have. So there are a lot of things that you don't know within our relationship that you learned while we were in our relationship, right? That you were not fully sure of what you desired or what you wanted, what you were interested in, right? But as your woman, what did I do? I seeked ways for you to gain experience, and those experiences led you to realize that, oh, I like this. Oh, I could do that. Oh, I'm into this. So I think it and that's why I say effort, because she may not know what she wants. That doesn't mean that you're going to know what she wants, but it's the effort in trying to figure it out with her. Yes. Rather than just being like, oh, she don't know what she wants, so how am I supposed to help you if you don't know what you want? But like, that's your woman. You put in the effort the same way we put in the effort. Because I said this before in a podcast. I think as women, we are very observant, and we are intuitive people, but I also think we pay attention a lot. And so because we do it so regularly, I don't think men notice it. So you may say with your mouth, I don't want to celebrate my birthday. I don't care. I'm not into it. But she noticed how you've been moving, and she's like, I'm going to do something. And she does it, and you enjoy every minute of it. You know what I mean? Why? Because she paid attention to how you were moving and what you may have been saying, and so on and so forth. So it's the same concept. I think men really just need to do a little bit better at paying attention, like paying attention to the small things, because it's really hardly ever the big things. It's usually the small things. You know what I mean? Like, if you notice your woman loves playing, like she loves getting dressed up just for the heck of it, it
create
maybe taking
situations
her,
where that
yeah,
happens.
like literally, like, okay, maybe I can create the type of situations or environments where she'll have the opportunity to do that more. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. It really is about the effort. Yeah.
I'm actually glad that you said that, because like I said, it's something that I've heard men say a lot. Like, she don't know what she want. How am I gonna know what she want when she don't know what she want?
And it's understandable.
And
but
it is understandable, and I like the examples you did give. When you were speaking, I was both receiving and trying to think of, like, how would the average man accept the answer? And the first thing I thought of was, I think men are always more simpler. So it's easier, my opinion, it's easier to please a man than it is to please a woman because women are more specific. But my main takeaway from your answer is the effort. Like when I really think about it, men don't put in. I'm not trying to bash us, us, but men don't put nearly as much effort as they could or they should in relationships.
I agree.
Like when you really think about it, it's during the dating phase, they may have 1 or 2 dates, where it's really something fancy, but it's rarely, like you said, the little things. I feel like when men put in the effort, it's something that's usually extravagant. Like, oh, I'm gonna plan a trip, and once I plan that trip should carry me for about 7-8 months. Like that's not how it works. That's what I'm getting from your answer, where it's a consistent thing, it's a daily thing, it's something that occurs every moment. And it sounds, I'm not gonna lie, it could sound intimidating.
Really?
Yeah, because again, not trying to bash us here, but I think men, we prefer to take it easy. Like it's easier to not to do the work than it is to do the work. It's easier to say
y'all lazy. Was that? I feel like those are the words.
I don't want to.
I feel like you were trying to say that men are lazy.
Let me address the public here. I don't think it's lazy. I think men are more likely to work smart and not hard. So in areas,
and you think that's working smart?
As far as energy goes, yeah.
I'm here to tell you that it's not.
But again, that's what I'm saying. Like the misconception, like to men, it might be I'm working smart that way. If I plan one major event every quarter of the year or something, then that should be enough, like to carry me for for the rest of the year. And if she feels some type of way, I'm just gonna I took you to the Bahamas, 6 months ago. What's your problem? kind of thing. But
yeah, because I think it's if you're looking at like extravagant things like that. One, you got to know your women. Some women, maybe that's what it is, but like it depends on who you are, and that's why I say it's the simplest thing. So for an example that I can use, like how like sometimes like I change out the towels. Well, not sometimes.
Yeah.
I change out the towels like 2 or 3 times out of the week, right? I take them out, put them like literally like a little hotel. Put them on the counter. You go into the shower and you're just like, oh, new towel. Oh, new thing to scrub my body. Like it's just there for you, right? That's something small that you don't have to think of, right? But it's convenient because when I don't do it, what do? You got to realize, oh, it's little things like that where like there's probably like once in a blue, I'm about to shower. And I'll walk into the shower and I'll see my towel is nicely fixed on the towel rod with like my thing on top of it.
Yeah.
And I tell you, every time you do it, I literally be like, thank you. It's the little things. It's something literally that simple.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes men think it's like, oh, I got to take her out to this fancy dinner. It's literally just looking for little ways to make your woman's life easier every day. It doesn't have to be anything extra. She likes a glass of water by the bedside when she's going to bed at night. She gets into the bedroom and realizes it's already there.
Yeah.
Like it's little things like that that's just going to make her feel like, oh, he's paying attention or he's putting in some form of effort. Now, I'm not saying that's all you have to do because I know y'all literal men.
Water, towel. I'm saying
do not you just do those things, but I'm saying like you mix and match, right?
Yeah.
So you mix it up. So that along with the little extravagant getaways or the little like dinners here and there, or maybe you decide like, I'm going to cook tonight.
Yeah.
You don't have to cook tonight. I'm going to cook or I'm going to bring home your favorite dish. Like little things like that just makes her life a little easier.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like this is what she wants, but it's more so
you're considering the person.
Yeah. Everyone just really wants someone to be considerate of them. And I don't even think it's just a woman thing. I think it's a people thing. Like in a relationship, you're servicing one another. So if you find little ways to serve the person daily, I think even if it's not exactly what they want, it's what they want. I don't know how else to say it. Like everyone wants that deep down inside. You know what I mean? But maybe we'll do another episode with like more perspectives, because I feel like our perspective is always going to be just ours. So I don't know if people agree or disagree, but maybe we'll do a part 2 or something where like there's more women with different outlooks on life to be able to provide like what it is they specifically want.
I think that'll be a good idea.
Yeah. And we're out. Thank you for spending your time with us. We hope you gained some knowledge today that'll promote poise in your life. We have new episodes uploaded every Thursday right here, same place, same time. Until next time, you can follow us on Instagram at NOIRPOISED Podcast to stay connected. That's NOIRPOISED Podcast. We'd love to hear your feedback.
And remember, your wisdom is power.